Hello guys, my name is Jarry and today I present to you my Starry Night deck profile. Well, Starry Nights are a series of light dragon and fairy type monsters that they special summon themselves due to their effects, and the most important thing is that they special summon Starry Night, Starry Dragon a lot of times, once per turn or more times, twice, 3 times in this build, and also they summon another boss monster to help you control, clear the board and go for the win. So it's a control variant and I hope you enjoy it. So we play 3 Starry Night, Starry Dragon, the one card that it's a Shigen Ryu upgraded form. So this card reads: if this card is normal special summoned from your hand, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. Cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark monster or by a dark monster's effect. Once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster until the end phase. Also, you can make this card has a second attack once again in a row. So that means you take this card back into your hand, normal or special summon it, most of the time special summon this card, destroy one card, then try to go for an attack. If it's a dark monster, we gain a lot of advantage, which is pretty neat because a lot of dark types are very good at this moment. I faced a lot of shadow type monsters, and also nowadays dark world monsters are gaining popularity due to the ban list, and also it's pretty neat. So this card is very good, very useful, and it's the one card that you search most of the time. Another boss monster that helps you out to win the game, it's Bahalatia, the Grand Radiance. So it's a light level 7 dragon which goes themed with the entire deck, and also it has this effect. You can tribute summon this card by tributing one effect monster. During your opponent's main phase, if a card or cards is added from their main deck into their hand, and this card is in our hand, you can immediately after this card resolve, tribute summon this card. If this card is normal or special summoned from the hand, you can make your opponent banish the top cards of their deck face down, equal to the number of cards in their hand. They then shuffle their entire hand back into the deck, and if they do, they add cards that are banished from the effect to the hand. That means we cannot do the draw and lock combo because they draw from the banish zone, but it's also very neat and very good because when the opponent searches 1 or 2 cards, make them shuffle them back into the deck, will ruin their plays and proceed to our victory. We play for the Starry Nights 3 of almost anything. 3 Rail. Rail is a card that when this card is normal summoned and only normal summoned, you can add one Starry Night spell and trap from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Starry Night monster in your graveyard except Starry Night Rail, spell summon it. So that means most of the time we prefer to normal summon Rail, draw a spell or trap to fix our hand or our board depending on the state of the game and if we go first or second. And also a very nice key is that he can banish himself to spell summon another Starry Night, which will proc its effect, and it's pretty neat to have in this build. We play 1 Starry Night Seal. Seal is a monster that if this card is in your hand, you can return 1 Starry Night monster or 1 level 7 Light Dragon monster you control to the hand and spell summon this card. We can pump it up to 2, but I think 1 is very efficient because we can search it a lot in this build. Also, if you control no monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard, spell summon 1 7 Light Dragon monster from your hand. So it's pretty neat, it goes themed with the deck, and also I think it's very needed in this build. Though I prefer if this card would be like ultra rare, because all the deck is ultra rares, so yeah, big damn on that. Next we play 2 Starry Night Flamel. Flamel is a monster that when your opponent monster is declaring an attack, you can send this card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to spell summon 1 level 7 Light Dragon monster from your hand. Quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 level 7 Light Dragon monster you control, or in your graveyard return it to the hand. So it's pretty neat to have his effects. Most people prefer to play 1 copy, I prefer to play 2, because it's very nice, it has a very beefy attack for a normal summon. Not the best, but it certainly do alongside Saiyan Ryu 4000 attacks, so which means the opponent has 2 turns until they die, so it's pretty neat. We play one Honest, because we play Ties of the Brethren in this build. It's a light fairy type monster, will help a lot. One Barrier, Statue of the Heavens, because it's pretty neat in this build, because we want to try our opponent to don't make any plays, so we'll gain the advantage and control the board state. Also, we play for the last Starry Night monster, Astel. Astel is, I think, the bread and butter of the deck after you play Rail, because it has these effects. Quick effect: you enter one light monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, spell summon one level 7 dragon monster from your hand. So it means we need to have Cyan Ryu as fast as possible in our hand to proc this effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target one level 7 light dragon monster you control. It gains 1000 attack, which helps a lot for the OTKs or tries to build up our monster better to fight most of our opponent's monsters. As stables of hand drops of choice, I play 3 Ghost Reaper and Witness Cherries, because we don't want the opponent to ruin our plays. You can switch it to Ghost Ogress or anything like that, but I prefer Ghost Reaper because it's more versatile in some specific matches. Also, we don't play a lot of things in our extra deck, so it's not a big problem. And we play one Lector, Pendulum the Draco Overlord. Very neat card. I find a very nice combo with him and another card that we play, which is, I'll tell it later. Stay to the video. And also, another win condition of the deck is that while you have this in scale, negate the effects of face-up pendulum monsters while your opponent controls them, which is a pseudo skill drain to the opponent's pendulum monster, which nowadays pendulums are getting very hyped because the ban list didn't hit them, and also the return of performable Crobat Sugar. It's pretty neat in this build. So it's pretty neat. That's for the monster lineup. Next we play for the spell and traps 3 Starry Night Balefire. Balefire is a card that helps a lot. You can add one Starry Night monster or one 7 Light Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. This is the most neat spell in the build, because we can take our fix our hands either with the effect of Rail. Most of the time you add this and then try to do something else. And also, if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a dark monster, you can spell summon one level 7 Light Dragon monster from your hand, which is pretty neat, because first we activate the effect to search, and after that, if the opponent controls, we spell summon our monster and try to go on with our plays. Next, we play 3 Ties of the Brethren. Very staple card, I think, in the build. Most players prefer to play this because it's so good in this specific build, and it's pretty neat to have, I think, in that regard. Next to play Starry Night Ceremony. Ceremony, during your main phase you can reveal one light fairy type monster from your hand, and if you do, add one level 7 light dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Then place the revealed monster from to the bottom of the deck. If your opponent activates a card or effect, you can spell summon one level 7 light dragon monster from your hand. You can spell summon Bahalatia and also our Starry Night Starry Dragon from our hand, so it's pretty neat in that regard, and it helps a lot in the build. Next we play 3 Wavering Eyes. It's the only way we can search our Lector, and so it has a lot of effects. Now hear me out on this, guys, I need you to trust me. You can use this card in your pendulum scale, and you'll set the other in the other pendulum scale, let's say something like a ceremony. So, if the opponent has the same or they play pendulum specifically, you can do this effect. Activate Wavering Eyes in the most left spell and trap, and ceremony on the most right. So then, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. You can add one pendulum monster from your main deck to your hand, which is the best thing that can happen, because you can stun the pendulum players or at least draw one card to their hand, so it's very nice. And also, if they have 3 or more, you can banish one card on the field, which is another removal to help the deck goes on. And also you can add, with 4 effects, another Wavering Eyes from your deck to your hand. The other Wavering Eyes will not help at all, but it's also very neat, because only one time to resolve these in 3 or more, it's the best thing that it can happen to your plays. So that's pretty key in this build. Also we play 2 Starry Night Sky. Starry Night Sky, during your main phase you gain an additional normal summon for a Starry Night or a level 7 Light Dragon monster, in addition to your normal summoner set. Also, during your turn, if face-up level light dragon you control returns to the hand, you can draw one card, which is composed so well with our traps that I'm going to speak in a moment. Next we play in the trap lineup one blast. It's a negation. I wish it will be a better card by having a counter trap marking on it, but I think it's pretty good and very important. The most important Starry Night trap, though, it's Starry Night Arrival. With Arrival, during your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. It's similar to World Legacy Pawns, that target one level 7 dragon monster we control, return it back to our hand, and spell summon one level 7 light dragon monster from our hand. So that means we can loop this effect all the time long, so we can proceed and go for our destruction plays and our spell summon of Starry Night, Starry Dragon. So the last and most favorite spell for me in this build is Witch's Strike, so it's very nice. If your opponent negates a normal spell summon or a monster's effect, and the activation of a card or effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls in their hand and in their they control. So that means that we nuke the entire board in hand, which is neat because we can use the Bahalatia effect to try and destroy everything. Also, in the worst case scenario, if we try to negate our Starry Night Star Dragon, we can activate Witch's Strike, so it's pretty good in that regard. For the extra deck, we play one cherry target that I find very good. It's Elsa Dolwinda. It hinders the deck most of the time. That's why I play Dolwinda. You can switch it with everything that you like. Now that all that you are going to see, except for few cards, are not so mandatory in this build, I think. So we play one Dolwinda. The one synchro that we play, and it's one on the thumbnails for sure, it's Michael the Arch Lightsworn. It's a light dragon type synchro type monster that it requires 1 turn and 1 non-turn light monsters. It's the only way we can bring it out with our Ghosty Bear and Winter Cherries. If you have Ogre, it's also that. It's neat because it can bounce itself back and still getting an effect or anything like that. Also, by paying 1000 life points, you can target one card on the field and banish that target. So it's very good, it helps the deck a lot, and it provides a lot of support in case we want to go. Also, the milling is not the best, but since we have graveyard effects, it's good if it resolves to sending a monster over there. For our exist plays, we play one number 28 to try attack. You can switch it with Big Eye or anything like that, but I think number 28 it's crucial if we go to our to attack our opponent and go for the game. One Drill Driver Vespanado because we play a lot of rank 4. One time Thievery Doer, self-explanatory, very good monster overall. It's really good and win games. We play one Light Dragon and Ignister. It provides a lot of support, it helps the build and goes for more plays. One number 14, one Bagushka, because we want to stall in case things go badly. One Silent Honor Arc, because we want to steal a monster and then try to play a defensive build, because we try to pop cards, so it helps in most instances. One Castell, Book of Moon, or send one card the opponent controls back into the deck. It helps a lot and it's crucial in specific matches. One Time Thief Perpetua to bring back our Time Thief Redoer in case we make him a Vespenado or anything like that. So it helps a lot. Now for the links, and we play one Lina because it helps the build a lot. It requires 2 light monsters and also it's another support with Leov since Bahalatia, so it's pretty neat. One Hip Horn Shinigan to try to boost and try to regain cards back into our hand in the worst case scenario. Other Clock Taker because we want to bypass many cards and try to win the game. One Herald of the Mirage Lights because it's a very good card overall. We play Furries, so it's a non-negate if we can bring it out and try to close the game. And last but not least, one Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres because it's very good, very useful, but it requires 2 dragons, so that means 2 Starry Dragons and 1 Bahalatia. Or we can go to our extra deck and try using another monster like Michael and another Xyz monster if we want to put in the deck. So that's the whole build. I hope you enjoyed, guys. See you again and thank you very much for your support. Bye!